Hello, it's Jo Martin here from One of Many. Now, if you're in the world of coaching, like me, it can be a pretty strange conversation when you find yourself chatting to someone who has no idea what a coach does. Maybe you're at a family dinner and great Uncle Jim leans over and asks, "What are you up to?" And you tell him you're training to be a coach and he's all like, "What?" Well, if he's great Uncle Jim, he probably wouldn't go, "What?" But you know what I'm talking about. Now, at times like that, you might find yourself explaining it's a bit like a football coach or a basketball coach or a hockey coach. Okay, I'm Australian, so it's going to be Aussie rules or cricket, I guess, are my go-to. I did softball and hockey growing up, who knows? But I appreciate they might not be relevant for you, but choose your own sport here, the one that is relevant to great Uncle Jim, and bear with me for a second. Because what I wanted to chat about now is what are those similarities between the kind of coach who sits on the side of the pitch and yells at people and says, "Do this, do that," whatever it is, and the kind that you meet with quietly once a week to create powerful life change with. Well, they are very similar in a lot of respects, and here's a few ways how. So number one, a coach holds the vision. Now, in a sports team, that might be how the season's going to unfold, the next tournament, the next game, how that fits in, whatever's on the horizon. There might be a time where in a particular game it's going to be an easy win, so we're going to play a little gentler, or where if we don't win this, we don't advance, so we're going to bring everything to this game. A coach holds the bigger picture vision, because while the team will always just want to go for the win, how that win is achieved or how that is created might be slightly differently, sometimes more active, sometimes a little more passive. How it fits into the vision is the coach's job to help hold that vision in place for people. And that's exactly the same, whether you're coaching doctors or academics or lawyers. As a coach, you're helping to look at where do they want to go, what's their vision for their life, and how to help them bring that to life through the ebbs and flows of what's happening in their professional and personal lives at any stage, right? The second way that they're similar is that a coach isn't afraid to get real. So in the stereotypical sports coaching, that might be pacing up down the sidelines, furiously chewing gum, getting in a player's face, shouting at them. You know, you see all of this sort of stuff on the TV, don't you? Now, this is not necessarily what you're going to do in a quiet office environment. You're not going to get in someone's face and shout at them. Although, even in a one-on-one coaching situation, your job is to help people become a better version of themselves. And sometimes, excuse my French, that means calling people on their shit. When they show up for the third session and they haven't done the integration work that you asked them to do, or the assignments, or implemented the actions you asked them to do, you're going to reflect that back to them in no uncertain terms. Sometimes a good dose of "excuse me, you have not done it again" is needed, right? So it's about knowing how hard to push and how to work with that. The one difference here, I think, when it comes to coaching women as opposed to coaching a sports team is when you put, especially a team of male sportsmen together, that kind of push energy, that kind of, really pushing people to their limits and getting in their face, that kind of aggressive energy gets responded to because of the testosterone rush. If you get really aggressive and pushy with a woman, you could absolutely close her down. So, and I've personally experienced this when I've been working with male coaches. They think that to push harder to make me to get me to do something is somehow going to get me to get there. It doesn't work that way for me. And I know that in the coaching of women that I have done, and in the coaching of women that all of our hundreds of certified coaches have done, we find that empathy and connection and understanding what's stopping is far better than that kind of in-your-face, rah, get it done kind of attitude. So there is a little distinction there around the second one, but certainly we're like sports coaches we get real, we get in people's faces, we make sure they see what's going on. And then number three, a coach has the tools and the ability to shift things up. Whether it be after a devastating defeat, where a sports coach has practices to let go of that energy of defeat and get things moving, how do we shake that off? If something's not working, the team is starting to get rattled, a coach can bring them back to themselves, suggest a different way to play, get them to, get reunited around something. They can see things that the players who are embroiled on the pitch can't see. That's one of the most amazing gifts that we have as coaches. When you've got a little bag of tools and strategies that you can turn to use to turn things around for people, where if the person you're coaching is feeling flat or stuck or hopeless, having those tools and helping people to shift out of that disempowered state back into empowerment is one of the most fulfilling things you can do. So the next time a random person at a party asks, what is a coach? You can say, yeah, it is a little like a sports coach, and here's how, and here's why. It's true for your clients too. Just as a sports team need their coach, people need that outside support, the vision, the ability to get them back into an empowered state. How does this sound as a way of describing coaching to others? Have you used something similar, an analogy like this, or what have you used to share what it's like to be a coach with people that you meet at parties? I'm interested to know in the comments box there. And if this has been interesting for you, please feel free to share the video and like it if you'd like to hear more from us. It's lovely to chat with you, and I'll see you again soon.